Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. So now that All Stars 7 has finished, I thought I would create a video with all of the backstage tea and drama from the season, such as Yvie Oddly criticising the edit of the show, Monét X Change admitting that she hooked up with a fellow cast member, and the Queens wanting to do an independent reunion episode so that they can spill what really happened backstage. All that and more coming up in today's video, so let's get started. Please note that a spoiler alert for All Stars 7 is in effect for this video. Yvie Oddly criticising her edit. So Yvie Oddly, who was the winner of season 11, had an interesting run on All Stars 7. She was gifted her first star and then won a challenge in episode 6 and earned a second star. She also made it to the final lip sync in the She Done Already Done Had Hers' lip sync Lollapalooza Smackdown against Raja, but ultimately lost. And interestingly, season 14 winner Willow Pill, who is Yvie's drag daughter, said during a live performance that Raja, quote, lost that lip sync real bad against Yvie. And throughout the season, Yvie was often referred to as the, quote, trade of the season, and people kept making jokes about her having large genitalia. Yvie also talked about her struggle with her chronic medical condition that affects joint movement and causes stretchy skin. However, it appears as though Yvie was not that happy with her edit on the show. Shortly after the airing of the final episode, Yvie posted a series of Instagram stories where she shared her true feelings about the season. In the first post, Yvie said, quote, I truly wish you could have seen even a quarter of the real journey we experienced together instead of all the strategy BS. But I guess that's what I get for participating in a, quote, celebratory season of a global reality television franchise. In the end, I'm happy you all enjoyed our hard work and harder play. And then she followed this up with another post saying, quote, actually decided I'm not done, ... To be honest, my experience was pretty gruesome from the start, and while you can be assured that none of that will make the edit, it doesn't change anything in the moment. Going back, I learned a lot about myself as I was forced to question whether or not I fit into this specific world, even as a winner. But instead of showing any of that struggle, or really any reason for me there, I've been lobotomized and presented as some goofy, big deed mascot, bravely laughing through my chronic illness, happy to be along for the ride. The only part of my truth that was shown was how the girls were my rock in this competition and how happy it's made me to share any more of my art with you, so for that I'm truly thankful. Yvie had to reshoot her talent show. Please make sure you hit subscribe and ring the bell to be notified for my future videos. And on a similar note, Yvie explained on Twitter that she had to reshoot her talent show number after she fell in front of everyone. Yvie is known for doing lots of crazy moves like backflips and splits, but Yvie said that it was, quote, pretty painful to re-watch the talent show episode because her performance was supposed to include a backflip, but it was edited out. Yvie went on to explain that her medical condition means that her physical capabilities have deteriorated, and she was reminded of this by watching the talent show. Yvie said, quote, the last backflip I ever attempted was for the taping of my performance. I had even less energy to spare and landed on my neck/shoulder/head in front of RuPaul, so at least I had the pleasure of giving her a heart attack. And Yvie continued by saying, quote, I spent a lot of time feeling angry/sad/disappointed by that night, but ultimately I had to let it go because there's so much I'm still capable of doing and being. So to anyone who ever asks how my health is doing, it's not good, it's not getting better, and it's not going to, but at least I am. Complaints about roast jokes being cut. In episode 10, the Queens took part in the Kennedy Davenport Center Honors Hall of Shade, which was a comedy roast challenge. The episode was well received by many people online, saying that it was the best roast in Drag Race history. However, it appears that certain queens were not happy that some of their jokes were cut from the final edit. For example, the Vivienne took to Twitter shortly after the episode aired and said, quote, not all my favourite jokes being cut out of the roast, so sick of this bleep, #AllStars7. She continued by saying, quote, yeah, I know how it works, it just sucks when you wait 8 months to see something you're proud of, and you're like, here it comes, ooh, this bit's my fave, oh, never mind. And finally she said, quote, my favourite joke was, Trinity the Tuck, she's been cancelled more than AJ and the Queen. Rue went off screaming laughing and then we had fun talking about it in the critiques. Just to explain that joke in case you don't understand, Trinity the Tuck has been accused of lots of things online, including having a secret Reddit account under the name She Devil by Night, where she supposedly posted lots of negative things about other queens, and many fans online have been trying to, quote, cancel her. And the other part of the joke is that RuPaul created and starred in a comedy drama series called AJ and the Queen, which premiered on Netflix in January 2020, but it was cancelled shortly afterwards in March 2020, presumably due to low viewing figures. And fellow castmate Trinity the Tuck also responded to the Vivienne's tweet and said, quote, "My favourite joke about you was cut too, you very hilarious." So it appears that a couple of the queens were not happy with the edit of the roast jokes. Raja screaming at Michelle and negative critiques. So I did talk about this in a previous video, but season 4 contestant Willem shared some backstage tea during the airing of All Stars 7, saying that Raja once screamed at Michelle. At the time, many people didn't believe Willem. However, Trinity the Tuck has since confirmed that this really did happen. In a video clip from a live performance, which I posted on my channel, someone asked Trinity in which episode Raja screamed at Michelle. Trinity then says, quote, "the third episode." She goes on to say, quote, "Everyone thinks that the judges didn't give negative critique on All Stars 7. They did, they just chose to edit that out." She then says, quote, "Michelle came for Raja during episode 3, and Raja looked dead at Michelle and said, 'Who are you to judge me? You have no credentials other than being the host's best friend.'" And then Trinity followed this up by saying, quote, "And then when we got off stage, backstage in the workroom, the cameras were cut. She," meaning Raja, "told all the producers she should be fired," referring to Michelle. And then Raja seemingly responded to this by posting a screenshot of Trinity's video on her Instagram stories with the caption, quote, "Trinity the Tuck is an embellishment queen." But what I thought was interesting about this video was that Trinity said that the judges did actually give negative critiques throughout the season, but they were all edited out. Which is interesting because that has been an issue among lots of fans who have felt that All Star 7 was too nice and boring as a result of there never being any negative critiques. In fact, Trinity even said on Twitter, quote, "Who thinks Drag Race needs to switch up their format for future seasons to be something like #AllStar7? It allows everyone screen time and these girls don't waste all this money on looks that don't get seen. I think it makes for a more positive experience." Several Drag Race queens responded to this, such as Bob the Drag Queen, who just said no. Silky Nutmeg Ganache said, quote, "I wouldn't mind that. I can't wear any look from All Stars 6 that I didn't wear. The trauma, lol." And Bosco said, quote, "I need bloodshed and tears." Ben de la Creme also responded to this by saying, quote, "I would have stuck around for that, ... And just to explain the background of that in case you don't understand, Ben de la Creme appeared in All Stars 3 and she was expected to win. But in a shocking twist, she eliminated herself in the 6th episode because she didn't like having to send home her fellow competitors and she didn't like the negative critique aspect of All Stars format. Monét X Change hooked up with a cast member. Make sure you check out my Patreon where I offer exclusive member benefits such as shoutouts in my videos, chat community and sending one-to-one messages with me and also exclusive content. Check out patreon.com/dragteaserved or use the link in the bio to sign up. I hope to see you all there and welcome you to the Drag Tea Served family. Monét caused quite a sensation during episode 10 of All Stars Untucked, where the queens were playing the game Two Truths and a Lie. Monét said that she loves that game because, quote, "It's a chance to be really messy and as you all know, I love messiness and this is the perfect storm for that." During the game, Monét's Two Truths and a Lie were, number 1, one time I hooked up with Trade in the UK and he stole my Beats headphones, then came to my gig afterward. Number 2, my parents had no idea I did drag before I came to Drag Race. And number 3, I hooked up with a girl in this cast. The others said that they thought the third one was the lie and that Monét didn't hook up with anyone in the cast. But Monét said that it was true and that the lie was the one about the headphones being stolen. And this shocked all of the other queens and they were all trying to figure out who it was that Monét hooked up with. Trinity even asked Monét who it was, but Monét said it was, quote, none of your business. Someone then asked Raja if she was the one that hooked up with Monét, and Raja said, quote, I don't know, and everyone laughed. And then everyone pointed at Yvie, who had started laughing, and said it was Yvie. But no one ever gave a definitive answer about it. And this moment created quite a storm on Twitter, with many users tweeting, quote, who effed Monét? Jada even said on Twitter that she was going to solve this mystery. And many people were implying as though it was Jada who hooked up with Monét. But Jada denied this in a tweet and said, quote, and let's be very clear, I've been saying some conspiracy theories, LMAO, it was not me that I know of, hashtag who effed Monét. But as of now, we still don't know who it was that hooked up with Monét. The Vivienne was asked about it during an interview because the Vivienne and Monét did a series called Etiquette Class together for Netflix. And people in the comments section have suggested that it was the Vivienne who hooked up with Monét. The Vivienne responded to this by saying, quote, listen, Monét loves effing with people. I think she's lying through her teeth. I mean, who's going to F Monét? Definitely a lie. A reunion episode without wow. Although regular seasons of Drag Race tend to have a reunion episode, All Stars doesn't have a reunion episode typically, except for All Stars 2. But it seems as though the cast of All Stars 7 would like to do a reunion episode, but they don't want the production company, WOW, which stands for World of Wonder, to produce it. During an Instagram live video, Monét X Change said, quote, we want to do a reunion and we want to do our own thing, we're going to produce it ourselves. Monét then continued by saying, quote, we don't want anyone to have control, we want it to be raw, unfiltered and give our genuine honest feelings, we don't want to be edited. Monét then asked for suggestions of who the moderator should be. Several popular answers were Bob the Drag Queen and Bianca Del Rio, but Monét said it would be better to have a non-drag queen moderator, and someone suggested Nicole Byer, and Monét said that would be a great idea. And later, Joseph Shepherd, who is known for his Exposed series, where he interviews Drag Race contestants, offered to moderate the reunion. Joseph tweeted saying, quote, well, All Stars 7 girls, I am offering to host the unofficial reunion for you all. Full studio in LA, I'll pay each of you a fee and you can spill whatever. What do you say? As of yet though, no plans seem to have been confirmed, so we'll have to wait and see if the reunion actually happens. But Trinity the Tuck also seemed to imply as though the queens had a lot of backstage tea to spill. In a Twitter post, Trinity said, quote, I'm telling y'all what, if queens ever told the real tea, ... gag. Monét then responded to this by saying, girl. And another Twitter user said, quote, we've been heard about that production favouritism by the way. To which Trinity responded with the eyes emoji, implying as though there is more that the queens want to say. Queens don't know the guest stars. As we all know, there have been many guest stars throughout the many seasons of Drag Race, and some of them are more recognisable than others. Trinity the Tuck was recently asked during a viewing party at Roscoe's about this topic. Someone in the audience asked, quote, does everyone know who the guest judges are? Trinity responded by saying, quote, no, the question is, do you know who the effing guest judges are? Exactly. No, the F we don't. Who is Ronan Farrow, B? I still don't know. He looked like a robot, B. Trinity then did an impression of him as a robot saying, you all look so great. Trinity then followed this up by saying, quote, he's a cutie, his mother is famous, he's a reporter, please don't report anything bad about me. Later on Twitter, a Twitter user tweeted at Trinity with an explanation of who Ronan Farrow is, explaining that his journalism was key in the Harvey Weinstein investigations and that he's a UNICEF spokesperson for youth. Trinity responded to this by saying, quote, thanks for the info, I really did know who he was, the kids just love the drama so I play into it sometimes for them, he's great. And on a similar note, another interesting thing that came up during the Roscoe's viewing party was that someone asked Trinity if they ever acted fake when the guest judges were announced. Trinity said, quote, there's been a couple of times through my Drag Race career over several seasons where the cast was so unenthused that they literally said, quote, you'll have to make more noise than that, you'll have to act more surprised, we need you to redo it. Shea Couleé feeling discredited. Shea Couleé did well throughout All Stars 7 and was praised for her runway looks. However, going into the penultimate episode, which was the talent show episode, Shea only had one Legendary Legend star. So she assumed that she was not going to make it into the final 4. However, the real gag came when RuPaul announced that the top 2 in the variety show would win 3 stars each. Shea ended up being in the top 2 that week, which meant that she had a total of 4 stars and advanced to the final 4. However, Shea has said that fans have discredited her spot in the top 4. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Shea said, quote, "Immediately I was already thinking that I want to be in the finale, but I had this gut feeling that for me there will be people who want to discredit or disagree." She also said that she thought the 3-star twist was a, quote, "strange handout for the variety show." Shea then added, quote, "People are questioning, did she really deserve those 3 stars? I already knew that discourse would happen and I felt in the moment like, here we go, if I win these, it almost feels like I won't be able to win because people who are fans of the other contestants are immediately going to try and discredit my win." Shea finished by saying that, quote, "These fans don't know what it's like," and explains that the fans only base their ideas off what they are shown, but the experience of the contestants is different than what the fans see. So there you go, there was a roundup of all the drama and backstage tea from All Stars 7. What did you think of All Stars 7? And do you know of any backstage tea that wasn't included in this video? Let me know in the comments. I'd also like to give a special shout out to my newest Patreon, Charlie David Lloyd. Thanks for being part of the Drag Tea Served family. As usual, please make sure you subscribe to my channel if you liked this video. And if you could please like, comment or share this video, it would really help to boost the algorithm and promote my video to more people. It's a quick and easy way to show support for my channel and I'd really appreciate it. Please make sure you also follow me on Instagram where I post exclusive Did You Know fun facts, and I also post interactive quizzes and polls in my Instagram stories where you can also interact with other Drag Race queens and look at their replies. So make sure you follow me at DragTeaServed on Instagram for some extra content that you won't see on YouTube. Thanks for watching and I hope you'll join me again in future videos. Thank you, bye!